Good morning, friends. This is Reverend Toni Baim, and I am the Unity South Central Ministry Consultant. And it's my privilege to bring you some of the best standards of practice for ministry teams, and to know that through the region, that I am available for you to serve you, and that the region pays all of my travel expenses when I come to your ministry. Today we're going to talk about the must-have leadership skills in the 21st century for teams and boards. There's 10 skills that I'm going to talk about specifically that are must-haves for your teams. And that one of the first premises that I want to start with is the idea that everyone needs to understand that they are a leader, regardless of whether they have a title that puts them in a leadership position. If you are in a ministry and you are a member, you are a leader within the context of that ministry and within the context of your own life, and that you can display. It's a choice, friends. It's a choice to display the leadership skills or not in every aspect of your life. Do you want to play big or do you want to play small? Having fear, third dimensional energies of fear and protection, and making sure that I'm not vulnerable in any ways? Or do you want to play in higher levels of awareness that allows trust and knowing that anything I do, I'm courageous and willing to be vulnerable? So the very first leadership characteristic that's important for anyone to take on is character. Meaning, and character is determined by our integrity, which is our trustworthiness and our capacity to be authentic. Authentic in our communications, where I say what I mean and I mean what I say. So it's integrity, honor, and ethics. Authenticity, trustworthiness is all part of one's character. And we must develop this characteristic. And how we do that is through spiritual emotional maturity, not by staying safe in status quo, but by always reaching higher. Often in ministries, we don't want change, but friends, without the change, we cannot and will not develop spiritual emotional maturity. So the first thing for leadership is character. What is your character? The second thing a leader has, and I'm going to stop for a moment and just reflect back on myself, because one of the things I've known, that I came in knowing this as a child, I have vision, not only for bigger picture, but I have vision for trending, for possibilities, for being open to possibilities. And I have a vision for my own life. I am a midwife for the birthing of the soul's remembrance. I am a midwife for the birthing of the soul's remembrance. So your ministry must have a vision. It must have a mission. It must be compelling. It must be able to move you forward, along with your core values also. But we must have a vision for ourselves. Because when we have a clear vision about who we are and what we're up to, I am a midwife for the birthing of the soul's remembrance. Everything I do, I weigh against that. Is, Toni, what you're about to say going to support that remembrance of who someone is at their soul level? So vision, second characteristic. Third is passion. That doesn't mean you have to be charismatic. No. Passion. I wrote this in one of my books. Passion, Passion. Passion. Actually, I wrote it in The Power of Be. Passion is pass I on. Pass I. The truth of who you are in everything you do, in everything you say. Be the authenticness of your I am power, not your little adverse ego, your small self. Excuse me, I don't know why that popped up there. So passion. So it's not about charisma. Everybody has talent. Everybody has something to share. And you can share that in the context of the ministry in some way. And if there isn't a position, a team, talk to your talk to your board, talk to your ministers. Tell them where you think, where you believe your talents are, and see if they will invite you into expressing those talents in some way. Character, vision, passion, communication. Leaders, 21st century leaders. All leadership. You can't be in leadership and not be in relationship, because leadership is about relationship. And all relationships thrive through communication. Friends, sometimes that communication is not always pretty, because sometimes we must, as part of the feedback loop, invite people into seeing where the growing edges are. And when I said it's not always pretty, it means it doesn't always feel pretty. But when we're really a leader on the leading edge, we understand that feedback is really important. Thus, we don't take it personally. We go, oh, this is interesting. How can I really take this dynamic and use it in a way that supports me and the growth of this ministry also? Because everything's about the highest good for all. And as you are willing to change, friends, as you are willing to change, you're willing to add to the consciousness of everybody else changing. And you create a new culture for your ministry. And we will have a one of these little videos on culture also. So we have character, vision, passion, communication, coaching skills. Every leader needs to have coaching skills. Doesn't mean you have to go to coaching school. You just have to understand that it's not about telling people answers. Coaching skills, to me, as a certified professional coach through the International Coaching Federation, my job as coach is not to give you the answers, but to ask the right questions so that you can draw forth your own answers. Even if I have the answer. Because one of the human frailties of the ego is it wants to be seen as right. And if I can tell you your answers and you go, oh, that's wonderful, you're so wonderful, the ego loves that. But the greatest growth that you can have as a person, even if you see somebody's answers, is to take that and keep inviting them in through questions to see it for themselves. So coaching skills, character, vision, passion, communication, coaching skills. The next 6 is the ability to create value. The ability to create value. We touched on this a little bit earlier. What do you have to contribute? You are a valuable being, my friends. Valuable. Be willing to contribute what you have to give. How can you create more value in your organization? Through your ministry, through who you are. The next is flexibility. Flexibility. It means to demonstrate impersonal capacity to be fluid. Impersonal capacity to be fluid, and a strong sense of emotional intelligence, which becomes really important. And the capacity to be able to recognize when your leadership skills aren't enough and they might need to have more training, which you know that I'm a great, great believer in the idea that all boards need training, and they need training by an outside source. Because if you try to train within your own board, even if you're the best at what you do, but you're a member of this board, they will only hear 5% of what you have to say. But you bring in a consultant, which is the role that I play, and you will be able to hear 40 to 60% of something new, which becomes important. Number 8, and just so you know, these come from a consultant named a communications expert who set forth, and her name was Marjorie Brody. Just want to bring that to your awareness. And 8 is comfort with ambiguity. And I want to say that as I have worked with well over 300 ministries and boards and teams, that I see these also as important leadership characteristics. So that comfort, 8 is comfort with ambiguity. What we know is change, friends, is always constant. Change is always constant. And change is opportunity. It's not danger, it's opportunity. The opportunity to see things in a new light, go in a new direction, develop something wonder-filled for your community, but you have to be willing to change. I have seen communities go into great conflict over the moving of a pulpit that has always stayed in that place. So comfort with ambiguity, meaning that change is the ability to, and the capacity to move in a new direction. That doesn't mean it will be comfortable. No, often it isn't. That's part of the growth of change. But that we're willing. Remember, one of the greatest, in my opinion, one of the greatest teachings that the master teacher Jesus gave us was in the garden. When he had that cup, and he knew the cup was the crucifixion that was coming, and he was saying, take this from me. I'm not ready to go. I don't want to change. I don't want this change that's coming up. And then he said, nevertheless, I am willing. Nevertheless, I am willing. And that's the consciousness we have to live in. The consciousness of, nevertheless, I am willing. I may not want to, but I'm willing to take that first step and move forward. 9 is collaboration. The ability to work effectively with others, to collaborate, it's an important leadership attribute, because if you go into a team with your own agenda, with your own ideas, well, we all have our own ideas, but we have to be willing to collaborate, because oftentimes, and it's human nature, and this is what we're working to overcome, is our human nature tendencies. Oftentimes we'll get an idea and we won't hear anybody else's idea because we're so stuck on our idea and we think it's so right and so perfect. But if we go in with the open hands, so this is my idea, but I'm open. This is my idea, but I'm willing to listen to others, because something dynamic might come out of it. And 10 is that we always are about growth, that we're always exploring new knowledge, places to glean knowledge. What we know is we can't all necessarily be world-class leaders, but we can learn to develop our leadership capacities. And we do that through finding our passion and putting that passion, passing I on into the world. And to take the risk, friends, the risk to pursue that passion and try new things. To try new things in that. And when you're willing to do that, what you will notice is you start evolving into leadership. And so it is. Character, vision, passion, communication, coaching, skills, the ability to create value, flexibility, comfort with ambiguity, which I like to call dancing at the edge of mystery, and collaboration, and knowledge, new knowledge, and putting it to work. God bless you, friends. It's been my privilege to bring these to you. This is Reverend Toni Bain, Unity South Central Consultant, 816-304-3000. 3044, 816-304-3044. RevTBAME at AOL.com. RevTBAME at AOL.com. Call me, contact me. I want to talk to you as part of our constituency and membership and part of our interconnectedness. Have a great day.